So you want to grow your business and get more clients fast, but you don't have a lot of extra cash flow laying around and don't want to harass your friends and family with cheesy sales pitches. I'm Kevin Mangum, and welcome to the Know, Evolve, Proceed podcast. Here we help coaches, freelancers, and business owners like you know your potential, evolve past procrastination and imposter syndrome, and proceed with confidence towards success. Each week, you'll hear from top entrepreneurs who faced it all and are now thriving. Welcome to our show. Hey everyone, Kevin Mangum here. Welcome to the Know, Evolve, Proceed podcast. I'm here with my special guest, Donna Cave. Donna, how are you?
I'm awesome.
Oh, so good to see you. Thank you for joining us at my audience. I really appreciate you being here. So everything's going well today?
It's a great day.
Okay, wonderful. So I really wanted to see if I could introduce you to my audience and let them know what you do, because you have a lot of insights and a lot of things that I think people may or may not know in the public about what you do. So if you're ready to get started, I'm going to go ahead and just get going.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So Donna, I'm just curious, how did you first get started into real estate? What inspired you to get started in real estate?
Well, I didn't think I could do it. And my brother said, Donna, you can do it and you'll do really good in it. And I was scared to death. So I just started taking classes and I got my license in the mail and I called my mom just screaming. I couldn't believe it. I was like in my late 20s and I couldn't
No.
believe it. And she thought my son had been killed or something because I was so excited and I was
Wow.
screaming.
Yeah.
And so they were happy and proud. So that's my beginning and I just loved it. I remember the first house I went to show, I thought, so this is work? Just showing in houses and talking to
Okay.
people? I just loved it.
That's wonderful. That's so wonderful. So, so I mean, it sounds like it was a really happy life changing event for you. So when you got started, there, I'm sure there
Excuse
was
me,
like,
I need to put my phone on. Do not disturb.
oh no, it's okay. Just go ahead and you tell
I'm
me.
back, Kevin. Can you hear me?
Okay, sure.
I can't
Uh,
hear you, Kevin.
oh, did you have a call
Let's
come
see.
in?
I can't hear you.
Okay.
It says recording, but I cannot hear you.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Okay. All right. So when you started, so you took a course, like were there challenges with it? Did it seem to be something you enjoyed learning? Did it seem to come easy, or did it feel difficult to learn for you?
Well, it was just a lot of information. I'd never been in the business world before. I'd always been a stay-at-home mom, and I'd
Okay.
never been in the business world, and I just didn't have the confidence, didn't think I could do it. So it was all a lot of new things for me, but I just studied and I thought it was very interesting, and I passed. So I was just really thrilled about that.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay. So this was your first time trying to do a business venture for the
Mhm.
most part.
Right.
Okay. So at what point, so did you end up joining a team, or did you do it by
Uh-huh.
yourself at first, or how did you do it?
No, I was in a team. I was from Idaho and I had moved to my brother's place. I'd gotten a divorce and he says, come down to LA area. So he
Oh,
lived in the LA area in Burbank. And I moved down there and I wanted to find a place where I was comfortable. I didn't want to be in a high rise office. And I just kind of felt I wanted to find a place that was kind of like Idaho. So I found this nice little office out in Tehunga, which was on the outskirts kind of the LA area, and the people had
okay.
horses. And that's where I went. And it was just a great beginning for me.
That's wonderful. And I bet the real Californians know where that place is. It sounds like
Yes,
you had to be from there to know that place. That's
right.
cool. So
That is.
was it like farm area? So you said like was like horses,
It
not farm area,
was.
but
It was just Not so much farm. It was just people. There were a lot of equestrian centers around and stables where people, like my brother lived actually. Then I started selling horse property in Burbank, and he lived right by the Los Angeles Equestrian Center. And you would find a house, a lot that was 50 feet wide and 100 feet deep, and that lot had a stable in the back, and it was zoned for one horse. Or you could have the lot next door, a larger one, 100 feet wide, and it was zoned for two horses, and there would be two stables there. And it was just, it made me feel good because it was their horses. And so then it was right by Griffith Park with hundreds of miles of trails. So I worked mainly in the horse area there, and I got a lot of my business. And then I had a partner, and our office for our business was in one of the barns at the Los Angeles Equestrian Center. So I got to see and know a lot of the celebrities that were there. And it was just a fun beginning. It was more like Idaho, and I was comfortable.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay. So, let's see. So you got settled in there and you learned how to, hold on just a second. Okay, Donna.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, great. So, it seemed kind of familiar, like Idaho, like what aspects of it to you felt more familiar there?
Well, it just wasn't houses, in small little areas. And I was right next to the equestrian center where people could go ride their horses. I remember going out into the field at the equestrian center and just smelling. And I thought, that smell is so familiar. And it was the smell of weeds from Idaho.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's so interesting. That's so interesting that we could choose something new, a new path in our lives, and still, it sounds like you prayed for something familiar, and you wished for it, and you were able to find something familiar in a totally new place. Um, so let me ask you this: um, did you have any mentors, like any ladies or gentlemen that helped you when you were getting started in the team, or anyone you kind of like, okay, I can learn from her or him or like that?
Yes, I did. My brother had a friend that was in real estate, and he had been very busy in real estate, and he got asked to be in charge of the barns at the equestrian center, and he was really needing help. So my brother introduced me to him, and he said, "Would you please be my partner and come help me, and I'll help you." So that was a great partnership that we had, and it just taught me a lot, and got to see and learn a new way of life with horses in the big city. There's some of the trails in our horse place went under the freeways and over the freeways. So I was right in the middle
Wow,
of the LA area, but I was in my element.
that's so amazing. Me being from North Carolina, I've never heard of that. That's so amazing that they would make that available for people to be able to ride horses, and I guess in some instances, even though it's big city, that didn't stop people from enjoying it.
No, it was they would have their hay delivered in front of their house and their straw every day and their
Wow,
feed. It was just, I thought, how amazing. But yes, it was a new experience, a new way of life.
that's wonderful. Okay, so like, um, so did you ever, just curious, did you ever get to the point where, did you have to mentor anyone, or was anybody on your team that was junior to you? And were there ups and downs with that, or how was that?
Yes, there were a lot of people that got into the business, and I just enjoyed helping the new people learn and teach them some of the things I had learned. And, it's always fearful starting something new, especially when you're young. And it was just fun to help teach them and mentor them. And like I was mentored and taught it, I just appreciated it.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So they say, there sometimes they say there are three steps to get good at something. You do the thing, you teach it to someone, and then you get feedback. So when you were going out in public, did you feel shy or with selling properties? And did you instantly get feedback? Okay, okay, I need to um, do better at this particular things, or what was it like going out in the public? I mean, that must have been kind of different for you.
It was. I mean, I was never shy. I've never been shy.
Oh, that's
And
good
so,
then. That's good. That's
so,
good.
but there, I didn't know, I was new. I didn't know a lot of
Right,
things. And so
right.
I would just, I would ask people stuff that and then I would learn from that. And if I made a mistake, I'd think, okay, I made a mistake. I won't do that one again. I'll learn. So I think that's probably how we all do, though, isn't it?
Yes, I agree. I agree. And I wanted to go take a step back to the family. So, um, did you have other family members that did real estate, or
Mm-mm.
how did you get inspired? Like, I guess I want to. Okay, let me ask you this. Not to cut you off. If you didn't have family in real estate, did you have perhaps like, mother, grandmother, uncle, someone that may have been adventurous that may have inspired you? I'm just curious about your family, the inspiration they had on you, or anything like that, or
Well, I think my brother's always been the wind beneath my wings. He's always
yes,
telling me I can do things. And I went and
yeah,
told my mom, I said, Mom, I think I'm gonna get into real estate. I'm gonna start taking classes. And she was very apprehensive. And she said, Oh, I don't know if you should do that. You do things and you can really get sued. And I don't think you should really do that. So
right,
Bob would say, Oh, don't even listen to that. He said, You can do it. You love
okay,
everybody. And this is just something that you will really like. So I just leaned on his advice and kept asking him things. And he buys and sells houses all the time and flips them. So he's
oh,
very familiar with real estate. And he would teach me a lot of things too about, I'd be talking about interest rates or how to figure out a house, a payment plan for somebody. And he's very good at that. So we would talk, and it's always been real fun to have him help me. So he was my biggest mentor.
okay, okay. I see the connection with your brother. So, okay, and then sometimes, a lot of times, with our parents and elders, they say, hey, just follow the path. Don't dream too big.
Yeah.
Um, so I have a question. Do you ever uh, do you ever feel like there are misconceptions when people want to get their first home, or maybe this is a two-part question, or they really want to have a dream home, a big home? Are there some misconceptions that make people fearful from trying to do it that you hear about? People want to buy something.
Well, I think sometimes too, people just they don't know. Like I didn't know, so I didn't see how I could ever buy a home. So of course, when they don't understand, it's fun to teach them and help them. Say, yes, you can do this. This is the way you should do it, and or could do it, and just teach them different ways that they can buy a house from either from starting with a smaller, less expensive, or if they have the income and they can do something, buy their dream house out first rather than, build your way to it, then that's very exciting. But people don't realize that sometimes if they've
Mm.
not been in real estate and bought and sold houses. So it's fun to teach them and guide them. I rather than selling, I like to say I guide and teach people.
I think that's a really fresh perspective, especially for those of us who aren't in the industry. And probably there are people that do it all the time, but you're one of the first people that I heard use the terms teaching, guiding. It seems so sincere and compassionate versus like, because when people are looking for a home, it's kind of business, it's strictly business
Mhm.
somewhat. But on the other hand, it sounds like you get some enjoyment out of educating people, because, like you said, people don't know what they don't know, and
Mhm.
going to it, they can be fearful.
It can
Um,
be very fearful. And I like to make my time with my clients a fun time and relaxing time. And That's just one of my things. I said, let's go have some fun. I want to be professional and make sure that they know that I'm professional and will protect them, but I also want them to relax and have a good time.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I think the hardest thing to do sometimes is to get people to relax. So I think if I think that's something you've gotten good at doing for people. Um, do you feel do you feel like okay, like um in other words, like was there a point where you felt like you were this was something you were called to help people, and
Mhm.
meaning like some people try something new and they say, "Oh, this is so difficult. I will just not do it anymore." Did you ever feel at some point early on where like, okay, I can do this. I'm gonna stick with it.
Sometimes, friends, sometimes I felt like, oh, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. But then I'm just the personality is I'm not a quitter. I just
Yes.
say, you can do it. You can. And my brother said, you can do it. And so I just don't like to quit.
Okay. I think that's a message that my audience really needs to hear. Um, so just to kind of switch up a little bit. So what if there was someone in my audience that wanted to get into real estate and do some of the things that you do? Um, sometimes people feel like, to take the course for real estate or whatnot, then, well, I don't know. I don't have enough money. I don't come from real estate background. What would you tell to people that want to be in real estate, but they have the limiting belief of, oh, I don't have enough money. I don't come from this background of real estate.
Well, I just always say and think if there's a will, there's a way. And there is a way that you can do that. I think that that person should interview, call and talk to some different real estate companies because there are companies that will help people like that. They see the value in that person and
Mm,
they would like to have that person in their office. So they will actually pay for the schooling and you sign a contract with them that you will stay and work with that company
mhm,
for a year or 2 years, whatever the contract is and the agreement is between the company and the new agent. And they will totally take care of everything of all of the costs and either they have classes or they'll put you through a real estate school this designed for that. So don't ever think you can't do it. There always is a way. And that's a really good way. That's I when I signed up with a new company, I had a gal that the very first company before I had a partner in the equestrian center, she stayed with me for 3 months and I had to give her half of my commission for the first three sales I made. But it
mm,
was so worth it to me because I could go to her, she'd go with me to all my appointments and
mm,
I felt so comfortable with her and it was worth it. I remember after I did that, the very first client I had come into my office, I was scared to death and I was waiting and waiting for him and it happened to be a guy. He walked in and I remember hiding behind the file cabinet and I said,
oh my
he's
goodness.
here, he's here, what do I do?
Oh my goodness.
So then I got my composure and I said, hi. And we
Right.
went and had a good time, except I locked my keys in the car that day and I was so
Ah,
embarrassed. But oh, well, he didn't buy a house from me, but that's okay. Several other people did.
that's wonderful. Yeah, that's interesting. I love it. You kind of you answered a couple things for me. You answered um basically I was going to ask about like, could people do internship type thing?
Mhm,
Maybe not internship, but like, apprentice. And
mhm,
also like you also mentioned that the lady went with you on your first couple of properties.
mhm.
So I think that's something that people don't know that are
Yeah.
interested in it. That's wonderful. So, all right. So I have a question. So, with that frame of like people could, sort of find ways to get on a team. If you had to make a 3-step, and it's probably more than 3 steps, but if you had to make a 3-step game plan for lady or guy that wants to get started from scratch and getting into real estate, It can be more than 3 steps, but what would you say they could do today, maybe to try to get started?
I think I probably would start making phone calls to different real estate companies and
Okay.
maybe some of the bigger companies. And there are companies that will only take seasoned agents.
Okay.
So maybe some of the smaller companies that I went with Realty World. I don't know if they even have that company anymore, but it was a national company, but they were small offices and they offered me that. We will help you and let you work with somebody for 3 months and they will
Wow.
stick right with you. So I just think it's finding the right company. And I don't know if you Google or just talk to different people. And I'm sure other brokers that don't do it will guide these people to the right office.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, Not to cut you up. So, and I have a question. So you eventually you ended up working you in Idaho again, right?
Mhm. Mhm. What I did was then I came back and got my Idaho real estate license
Okay.
because my family lived there. And then I went back to my company that I was working with, and I love ranches. I always wanted to live on a ranch, and I did. I married a rancher, and
Okay.
um, so I wanted to sell ranches. So I went back to uh, to my California office and told them of all these ranches in Idaho. And I had my Idaho license. So I would take pictures of ranches and I'd have friends that hired me to list their ranches and I would show pictures and everybody would be excited about ranch property. And so then what I did, when I would fly back, I sold a ranch to a friend of mine who was a doctor in the LA area. I sold him a 1,500 acre ranch in McCall,
Wow.
Idaho. And so I would go stay there. I eventually moved there, but I would take pictures. And then on my trips back and forth from LA to Burbank, I would make sure I sat in the middle seat of a 3 seat on the airplane. And I had a color book of all these pictures. I'd open up my book as I was flying and looking at all these pictures. And people say, "Oh, that's really pretty. Where is it?" And I say, "Oh, come to Idaho and stay with me at the
Yeah.
ranch." Yeah, and so they would come stay with me at the
Yeah.
ranch, and I'd take them fishing and fix some ranch
Oh,
cooked meals, and they'd buy property from me.
that's so
So
wow, so
yeah,
cool.
that was fun.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay. So, all right. So with that being said, I want to ask you a little bit. So, uh, you, so what's the, so did you end up venturing out on your own at
Mhm,
this time and you're
mhm.
partnering? So can you tell me like the name of your company and, where you're at now and
Sure.
things of that nature? Yeah.
Sure. I live in Riggins, Idaho. It's a town in central Idaho on the main Salmon River. And
Mm.
our little town is only 400 people,
Oh,
but there's a lot of towns up and down the river. So there's quite a community here there's Pollock, Idaho, there's Riggins, there's Whitebird, there's Lucille. So there's much more than just 400. But I have my own little office here on Main Street, and we are Idaho Wild Rivers Realty. And
okay.
a friend of mine that I had known in McCall while I was selling property, they opened up a coffee shop across the street from
Oh,
me and
okay.
they ended up selling it. And he said, "I don't know what to do." I said, "Come and sell with me." So he got his license. And so his name is Dorian Clay, and his wife, Marie Clay, is our document coordinator. She does all of our paperwork so we can go work, and she does our paperwork. And that's awesome because I hate paperwork.
Yes.
So I'm here right on Main Street in Riggins, Idaho. We'd love for you to stop in. I'll buy you a cup of coffee at the coffee shop across the street, and let's go look at some property.
Thank you so much, Donna. And where can people find you online? Your website or anything like that?
It's Idaho Wild Rivers Realty Group.com.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And I'll make sure that I leave that your link in the description and your contact information as well.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Donna. It has been an honor and a pleasure. I've been really wanting to make this happen. I do appreciate you.
Well,
And
thank you. I just wanted to say one more thing, Kevin, that I have an awesome website and Kevin is my webmaster. So if you need a good website, call Kevin.
thank you so much, Donna. You're the best.
Absolutely.
Well, I
All right.
appreciate you, and thank you. You have a blessed day and take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. You have a good day also.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye now. Thanks for tuning in. If you found value in today's episode and want to dive deeper, head over to www.noevolveproceed.com/free. You'll find a free offer and plenty of resources to help you on your journey. Don't forget to click the link below to grab your free resource and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Don't miss out. Check it out now.